As Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano walked to the center of the ring for the final round of their latest epic, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas was on its feet. By that point in the fight, everyone knew exactly what would happen. The two women would meet toe to toe and trade blows practically nonstop for 2 minutes. About an hour later, those same fans were streaming out of the arena in their droves. For as much as Taylor Serrano lived up to the billing, Jake Paul's fight against Mike Tyson was just as far the other way as a major disappointment. Unlike the final round of Taylor Serrano, the beauty of Paul against Tyson was supposed to be that nobody quite knew what would happen. There was a palpable sense of anticipation in the air as the first bell rung, especially after Tyson's menacing ring walk, all alone. As the first bell sounded, there was a roar as Tyson stalked his prey. Could he silence the YouTuber turned boxer and roll back the years? Plenty of those in attendance and the millions watching online on Netflix thought so. At least they hoped so. But what played out in reality was the outcome everybody feared and should have realized was likely, played out in its most sad and painful form. The narrative around Paul Tyson probably fell right in the middle of head versus heart territory. Almost all logic, backed by the bookmakers, suggested Paul would win. That was 20 years ago, and he's hardly got any better in the intervening 2 decades. Sure, this is only Jake Paul, but it was never going to take much to beat this version of Tyson. The only hope was Tyson's power. He still had it, right? Sure, but he never had the speed or mobility to actually put it to any use. And within the blink of an eye, fatigue set in and survival was the only objective. One judge ringside scored a round in Tyson's favor. It could only have been the first or possibly the second round, and either way, that was extremely generous. By round 3, it was painfully clear the contest was going to play out in a predictable fashion. Paul had Tyson briefly buzzed, and the veteran was visibly exhausted heading back to his corner. Round 4 underlined that not only was the worst fear of fans coming true, but it would be played out in the most excruciating and frustrating way possible. Instead of going for the finish, it became apparent in the 4th round that Paul had little intention of knocking out Tyson and was essentially carrying him through the fight.